Hi, this is Colin from the History Pilgrim. I hope you've been enjoying my videos and I'd be interested to hear your comments. Be sure to like and share with a friend. In the 21st century, walk-through haunted house attractions, or as they are also known as ghost walks, have become an integral part of the Halloween season. Much like the thrill of riding a roller coaster, these attractions allow patrons to experience thrills in a controlled and safe environment. However, when haunted house attractions first began, they were a very niche and unknown cultural phenomenon. The concept of a walk-through haunted house attraction traces its origins to the late 1800s with the publishing of works such as Bram Stoker's Dracula and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. During this era, there was an increased fascination with the macabre and seances. In Victorian England, walk-through plays in the dark with grotesque special effects were meant to recreate Gothic works of fiction during the time. The first true haunted houses that we associate with Halloween began to take root in the US during the 1930s. At the time, churches would set up makeshift ghost walks which featured staples such as actors under white sheets, fake tombstones, and wooden coffins. These events were meant to provide cheap entertainment during the Great Depression for children and their families. Haunted houses began to truly emerge as serious productions in the 1970s. Non-profit organizations began to run haunted house attractions as fundraisers around the Halloween season in the US. These haunted houses were commonly set up in abandoned retail areas or community centers. As these attractions gained popularity, they began to become cherished Halloween traditions. With the release of movies such as Halloween, The Exorcist, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a new audience began to seek out these attractions. As the horror genre began to shift away from the tired tropes of older horror seen in films such as Dracula and The Wolfman, the haunted house industry needed to change its focus to the more taboo and intense content which motion pictures were shifting towards. The late 1980s and the early 1990s saw for the first time ever big-budget professional attractions which ran the smaller haunted houses out of business. One of the first such attractions was Spooky World, which opened in Berlin, Massachusetts in 1991. Spooky World was the first haunted theme park which was based around several attractions, including a haunted hayride, multiple attractions, and guest appearances from horror film actors. For the first time ever, the haunted house attraction became more than just a local event. Pretty soon, people from throughout the US and the world were traveling to Massachusetts for the intense events of the season and to make pilgrimages to Salem. As the haunted house attraction began to evolve, so too did certain attractions become legendary for their creativity and attention to detail. In 1993, a haunted house attraction opened its doors in St. Louis, Missouri called The Darkness. Using a large, unused warehouse floor to create this terrifying world, The Darkness truly did what a standalone haunted house attraction had never done before, which was to rival even what theme parks, the likes of which Disney parks and Universal Studios hadn't even tried yet. In a time when haunted house attractions were still very simple, The Darkness featured moving floors, 20-foot-tall moving animatronic spiders, attacking dinosaurs, and over 100 paid actors with movie-quality makeup. The Darkness has evolved throughout the years to include holographic images, a shack built on compressed air to give the feeling of it floating in a swamp, and makeup which could rival a Hollywood production. This location has set a record for the most expensive haunted house attraction ever built, and has appeared on Modern Marvels and Travel Channel. With other haunted house attractions taking after the inspiration of The Darkness, such as the Dent Schoolhouse in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Netherworld in Atlanta, Georgia, for the first time ever, movie directors were looking towards these attractions for inspiration for their own makeup techniques and set design. Today, there are over 4,000 haunted house attractions in the US, with the highest concentration of them being around Pontiac, Michigan, where there are over 50. With trade conventions all over the US and more than $300 million in profits, haunted house attractions are more popular than they've ever been. Some haunted houses have emerged called the ultra-extreme haunted houses. One such attraction is called Blackout, which has two locations, one in New York City and one in Southern California. This event requires patrons to be over the age of 18 and to sign a waiver clearing the owners of any legal charges. Guests to Blackout are reported being abducted in white vans after signing up, and there are arguments that such locations need to be shut down as they have gone too far. In recent years, where there be more extreme haunted houses than ever before, there has been an increase in more traditional haunted houses of old. One key factor behind this is the availability of retail establishments such as Spirit Halloween. These stores, which pop up annually in empty retail spaces, offer costumes and props for homemade haunted houses, Halloween parties, and yard displays. It has become a common practice for fundraisers and families to create less intense homemade haunted attractions to cater towards younger audiences. In conclusion, as the years pass, it is inevitable that haunted house attractions will increase in popularity and spectacle and will test new boundaries while preserving some of the more gothic and traditional aspects of the first haunted house attractions. I hope you enjoyed this video and hope you have a terrific spooky season. Sincerely, the History Pilgrim.